allowed the two children to have the budget.
It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay.
She
off your mind.
like me.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk through to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Ingo torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego diary politico, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over Naira. See them talk say make we off mind, but thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you ladder, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego diary politico, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. This one not they off in mind, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my yegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my yegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Poor man picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say my yegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo. My yegun don't come, oh, yo. My people make you shout, oh, yo. My yegun don't come, oh, yo. Man of the masses, my ego don't come, oh, my ego diary politico, my ego don't come, oh, this man not the off in mind.
Hello there.
Ayegun la wa mo to dodo. Ayegun la wa mo to dodo. Ayegun ti de ọ̀rẹ́ ara
Good morning to you. Good afternoon to you. And good evening to you from wherever you are joining us. It is Mayegun Live. Today is the Yoruba traditional day, or should we call it a Yoruba tradition day? Isese day. Thank you.
And yet, Lórí Facebook. And yet,
Thank you so much for joining me again. Read the caption of this broadcast and read beyond the caption. Read the description of the broadcast. Like it, share it.
and yet,
Invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends. The Mayegun today.
and yet, President Barufio. And yet,
There is a threat to arrest the NLC chairman, the NLC president. Even though they are finding every kind of excuse to explain away why Thiefnubu or where Thiefnubu got 150 billion naira to buy himself a new presidential jet. But today, and sorry for the late starts again. Sometimes it can take longer, preparation can take longer than expected. But what really matters is that your time here at this moment is going to be worth it. It's going to be, it's going to be worth it. Thank you so much for joining me. So good morning to you once again. Good afternoon to you. And good evening to you from wherever you are joining us. This is Mayegun live. Today, the Nigerian Labour Congress have decided to speak out after the Thiefnubu's agents, the Dokwemu Stupid Service, invaded, or should we call it raided, the NLC headquarters in Abuja. And what were they looking for? That was during the End Bad Governance protest, days of rage. They were accusing the NLC of funding terrorism, subversion of national security deeds. So they are inviting Ajaero for treason investigation. But the NLC believes that no, this is part of the institutionalized intimidation of the labor force. So they now call on their followers, the workers, get ready. If Ajaero go to the police and gets detained, they will go on strike for him. Here, we will start from that this evening.
Was extended to the Congress President yesterday and asked to report at the police by 10 a.m. today. So we are already working with our lawyers to look for extension of time. But this does not legitimize the charges by the Nigerian police to the Congress leadership. And secondly, we resolved that in an event our Congress President was arrested or detained at any moment, we put our appellate on red alert to mobilize our membership across the country, that all workers in this country should down tool their services.
Yes, immediately.
This organization belongs to all of us.
Yes.
Therefore, we should do everything possible to safeguard the sanctity of this organization.
Yeah.
We therefore thank you very much, and you should be calm and wait for further directives by our leadership. Whatever happens, we will communicate to your leadership, and your leadership will communicate to you. So we urge you to remain calm and go back peacefully to your working place and await further directives. Thank you very much.
Why is the Robotion against the NLC? You are talking about a state capture. And when you talk about state capture, you have to have everybody on board. And if there's any reason or any group that is outside that arrangement or outside that capture, it will be faced with aggressive takeover because you will be treated as enemy of states. This has been the policy of APC. And that is why they kind of feel cool that they could get away with the same things they condemned. Let's leave NLC for now, okay? The new one from the stable of the rogues, the criminals. Yesterday, the NLC said they've made profits in the midst of all this scam scandal, right? They said they've made their profits of over 3.3 trillion naira. Remember, the cesspool of Nigeria corruption, NLC, the Nigeria oil industry. When Kolu came in and swapped those who were to be collecting the subsidy money and then continued paying it, right? There are other things that also continued because it's like the same team of rogues and thieves, right? They are still in charge, even though they've had some extra and additionals. People who kind of take the cut for Thiefnubu and its group. Nigeria NNPC is meant to be the national oil company of the country. And by their law, NLC was given the power to sell Nigeria crude, oil and gas and stuffs like that. Then remit the money made from the sales to the federation account. And since it is rob Peter to pay Paul system, then they will share the money to all of the component units of their fake federalism. This was the arrangement until APC Egbekegbe came. So when they came, they opened business, a racket, like a cartel. They opened full-time business on Nigeria. And I'll tell you what they did. For the first time, the Nigeria National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, something that seems to have been like the symbol of Nigeria producing oil and stuff like that. Sure, you get like, it should be something that should be like, oh, if everything collapses, this one not supposed to collapse. So because now what's the entire system mostly rely on, all right? But it is, it's a cesspool of corruption. So when APC Egbekegbe came in, Nigeria was producing 1.8 million barrels of crude oil every day. But when APC Egbekegbe came in, they attacked that source. First, they brought in the rogues that will help them orchestrate that. So Bokohari and his gang set themselves in the place, right? Suddenly, Nigeria started losing over 700,000 barrels of crude oil every day. As if to say, nah, crude oil was like a tap water that was just wasting away somewhere. No. So Nigeria started losing money in such a way that never seen before. For the first time in Nigeria history, NNPC refused to remit money. Out of 8 years of Bokohari's time, NNPC Nigeria did not remit money to Nigerian Federation account for more than 4 years. It's like half of Bokohari's time. There was no remittance to Nigerian Treasury from the NNPC. Guess what they did? They opened the floodgates where they said people are stealing the crude oil. So they will bring in the ship to Nigeria. They will load the vessels and they will sail away. People now did investigation. Who were those behind that? The guys in the NNPC. Imagine people who are supposed to safeguard the national assets. They now opened door for how to steal that, including the people they were selling them to in Switzerland, in Germany, as well as China, where they found hundreds of millions of stolen crude oil from Nigeria. under Bokohari, even when they found some of them and they decided to pay Nigeria back. Malamu got the money and swallowed it. Well, anyway, the next thing, Baba, they said they have privatized NNPC. Like, how? How could you do that? They sold NNPC. To who? How much did you collect? No kobo. They just created something. They said NNPCL or NNCPL, whatever. It is now a private company. Listen to this, oh. Before these guys, nothing like that, oh. You are either appointed into NNPC or you secure a job in NNPC. Or you know what this guy did? They opened a shop. They said NNPC has gone private now. Since it has gone private, right? So this private company is now owned by shareholders. So these shareholders, they will now be overseeing the sale of Nigeria crude oil, the importation of Nigeria's petroleum products, diesel and stuff like that, imports of petroleum production, sure you get, into Nigeria. Now this company, people appointed by politicians, broke up the national assets without anybody even noticing or probably paying attention. Then they now opened a separate company that they now sold themselves shares. So they are now the owners, right? The little money coming back from the 1.8 million barrels that they started stealing, right? Nigeria dropped by more than 50%. At a point, Nigeria's oil production dropped to about 800,000 barrels a day. It was that bad at the time. So you know what they were doing? They started another scam, by the way, which was we needed to remove subsidy. If they didn't, why do you need to remove subsidy? The guy before you was paying about 700 billion naira a year. He wanted to remove it. They didn't allow him. So why do you want to remove it now? They said, no, Nigeria cannot afford it. Here was the scam. The entire Nigeria, they were consuming about 30 million liters of petroleum a month. That's like 360 to 370 million liters of petroleum in a year. But when APC Egbekegbe came in, that number tripled. Even though more people became poorer, that many people even sold their vehicles or their generator or anything. And so many businesses also folded up that they didn't need all this, right? But they scam because it was the NNPC that would tell you how many liters, how much they pay on subsidy. So what did they do? They tripled it. So Nigeria, under them, they said Nigeria was now importing 90 million barrels of, 90 million liters of petrol. So that gave them the leverage to now use the number and say, if the landing cost for a liter of petrol was 200 Naira. So if you want to continue to buy it at 147 Naira or 145 Naira, that means Nigeria will pay subsidy on 90 million liters. But Nigeria started using 90 million liters, 87 million liters, more, because it was the cesspool of corruption. All that is needed is that, and the only people importing the fuel, NNPC, not them directly. They have their friends who get the license to bring in the fuel. They are the ones who collect the subsidy money. So from 800 billion naira subsidy, when Nigerians were buying a liter of petrol for 87 naira per liter, from 800 billion naira subsidy a year, under these thieves, it jumped to over 4 trillion naira a year. And guess what? The more they pay on subsidy, the more Nigerians pay for fuel. Subsidy was to kind of reduce the cost, though. You get? But like under these rogues, the more they pay, the more you pay. That is why today, people are buying a liter of petrol for over 800 naira per liter. And the criminals, They are paying, they've paid over 7.8 trillion in 1 year for subsidy. Even though they told them subsidy was gone. Now let's roll it back a bit so that you don't get your head so swelled up like, oh, don't understand again. Don't worry. Let's roll it back. In 2016, Bokohari removed subsidy. Petrol jumped from 87 naira to 147 naira. So Nigerians clapped then because they voted for change. And Bokohari was going to help them stop the corruption, the wastes. If removing subsidy is the beginning, they were ready to pay the sacrifice. Then a year after, 2017, people discovered that Bokohari paid over 1 trillion naira for subsidy, even though Nigerians have been paying more for petrol. They now came out. This Thiefnubu, Abobakus, and the rest, who were doing the yeoman job for Bokohari then, doing the propaganda, brainwashing, and lies then, just for the moment like this, so that they could have their own turn. Now they have their turn. They said it was not subsidy. That Bokohari was only paying for something. Hey, what was the name? Oh, they shall give it one name. Not subsidy. And under Bokohari, by the time Bokohari was going, Nigeria had paid over 30 trillion naira. 30. And I'm being generous. 30 trillion naira on subsidy. Surely the last 4 years of Bokohari, Nigeria was paying between 4.8 trillion and 5.5 trillion naira on subsidy per year. And Nigerians, they were paying more for fuel. Nobody even remembered that Bokohari removed subsidy when other sheges, shegia, hit them, giddigon. Then came in Thiefnubu. Mr. Subsidy was gone. Another fraudster. They clapped because Nigeria couldn't afford it. Some few people are those sharing the money. It is nonsense. We must save this country. We must protect this country. It was under recovery. God bless you. That was what it was called, under recovery. Under Bokohari, they didn't call it subsidy, but under recovery. God bless that person. So Mr. Subsidy was gone. They clapped for him. And the moment he said that, everything scattered. But they couldn't convince the people that it was for their own good this time around. Yeah, it wasn't for long. Because Bokohari was able to increase the fuel price by 100%. I mean, we can say it's 100%, 87, no, probably by 80% in 8 years. Thiefnubu increased it by over 300%. Now it's actually like about 400% in 1 year. And that is where everything scattered, everything collapsed. Inflation at that time was like, boom. They now find it difficult to convince you that it is for your own good. When people now discovered that all this suffering, including the people that died, because of hunger, you know, that kind of, you know, that type of hardship that you look at people who die because of hunger. And then you are thanking God that I thank God that the hunger never kill you. And if you say you still get hope under these rules. So going forward, Thiefnubu and his gang, they've now come up with a new name. That they are not paying subsidy. Okay? In fact, I'll put it this way, my own word first before is, okay? In their own word, right? I mean, sorry, in their own, by their action, it shows that all of you that suffered for the last 1 year, including you, the Abobakus, and those who have died, everyone did that for nothing. Because while you were thinking that people like us are just, they have a name for me. People like myself are called agent of doom that never see anything good about Nigeria. And it is not true. That's not true. Okay? The only thing we don't see anything good in are the gang of criminals that some of you call leaders. And they are those that are being exposed every now and then. So you can't blackmail us and begin to shout and say, oh, you hate Nigeria. It's because you hate Nigeria. No. Don't mix it up, please. Your criminal leaders are criminals who belong to jail, waiting for the hangman noose. But because the contraption is, the cesspool of criminals, which we call the crime scene, criminals' den, that is why you will see these characters, this blemish, this embarrassment, right? That's why you still see them representing that contraption. That's what they make of it. So they came out and said, no. Even though Wale Idun said they've been paying $600 million every month on subsidy without any appropriation or approval. But they had to. If not, by now, a liter of petroleum in Nigeria should be somewhere around 1,700 Naira. You heard me right. That's how much you should be paying for petroleum right now. The greed of the few in your petroleum sector, which Thiefnubu is the minister of petroleum, like Bokohari. Bokohari was also the minister of petroleum. You see, their greed, the insatiable greed of these rogues has led to the hyperinflation you are facing today, because they are those who are holding you in the jugular like that. Institutionalized criminality. That's what it is. 7.8 trillion Naira paid on subsidy. They're saying an importation shortages. Listen to the guy who they call the financial secretary of NNPC.
I think there is one fact that I need to make very clear, that in the last 8 or 9 years, this company, even corporation as it were, has not paid anybody a dime or 1 Naira as subsidy. No one has been paid kobo by NNPC as in the name of subsidy. That means no marketer has received money from us by way of subsidy. What has been happening is that we've been importing PMS, landing at a certain price, at a cost price, and government is telling us to sell it at half price. So the delta between that landed price and the half price is what we call shortfall, or call it subsidy. And the deal is between Federation and ourselves to reconcile, and sometimes they give us money, sometimes we do net-ups. So there is no money exchanging hands to any marketer or anybody in the name of subsidy. I think there is one
nuisance, Lily.
That's how they treat Nigerians. They believe that they are talking to idiots. And sometimes you can ask yourself, do this guy actually listen to themselves at all? People bring petroleum to Nigeria and the government take it from them and sell it at half price. Importation shortfall. What is importation shortfall? NNPC and their marketers. They go to Malta. They go to all these countries that they bring petroleum from into Nigeria. And when they land in Nigeria, they will calculate how much it costs them to bring that refined product. Then they will have to go to the markets. That is where the NNPC comes in. But did you hear him when he called this company? Baba want to tie NNPC. NNPC is just a front. Like, they sold Nigeria National Corporation, Oil Corporation. They sold the Petroleum Corporation. They sold that. And even an average Nigerian, no. They shout, say, I am a proud Nigeria. I am a proud Nigeria. We have to come together and make our Nigeria work. Work for who? For these rogues. How? So I take my fuel to Nigeria. And if I have to put all the cost, everything, which is what they call the landing cost, how much is it going to, how much am I going to sell a liter? Then I'm still going to make my profits. So if the landing cost and everything will cost maybe 1,500 or 1,300, so I can decide to go and sell it for 1,500 due to the floated Naira, inflation in your country. Because by the time I discharge all my products, Naira for don't reach maybe another. Sure, you get, like, I'm talking like a legit businessman now, right? So Nigerian government will now take it from me to go and sell it for half price. Did you know what he just told you? The guy just, how much is a liter of petrol now in Nigeria? 800, 900, right? The guy just told you there that you are buying half price. That's what you are calling subsidy. They don't want to call it subsidy. 7.8 trillion naira. Baba, that is 4.5 to 4.6 billion dollars. 4.6 billion. That is not paying for the product. It's just to pay half so that you can buy a liter for 850, 900 that you are buying it. She'll get TNC. Do you understand now? No? You understand. So, but you understand now. It simply means that the cost of your transportation will still go up again. The price of food will never go down. The price of bread, they are not changing. The price of your medication is not coming down. By this announcement, these guys plan to actually spend in 2 years. They are planning to spend what Bokohari spent in 8 years. Bokohari's government spent 31 trillion naira on subsidy, idiously, like they hid it from you. Most of it, so there's no budget for ammo. But patch, they are further weakening your Naira. Say you they hear? What Bokohari printed, okay, hang on. Here is another one, right? Bokohari spent 31.2 trillion or so on subsidy in 8 years. And you pay more for fuel, right? Bokohari printed 27.4 trillion naira cash by the Central Bank of Nigeria. With the exchange rate of that time, that is $51 billion. That means the trillion. Show me $80 billion, Jesha. Yeah? I'm show me. 27.4 trillion low print. And somehow, every time I remember, Mama was short of word. And that was in 8 years. Now let's come to Kolu. As for Kolu, In 1 year, Kolu don't spend, with the one they make, they announce, so 7.8 trillion. The one where me, I don't calculate left, right, and center is over 8 trillion. I can work with 7.8. Let's work with 7.8. 7.8 trillion. And the price of petroleum and all of that increased by more than 400%. Half price, Denny, in 1 year. Multiply that by 4 years. So for me, pay whatever Bokohari did in 8 years, these criminals will not surpass it in 2 years, because watching law as the thing they go now. It took Bokohari 8 years to destroy Nigerian Naira, depreciate it or devalue it from 145 Naira official, black market 199 Naira to $1, to 610 Naira official to $1, and 710 Naira black market to $1. Odumejo 8 years. In 1 single year, Thiefnubu took that from 710 Naira black market to 1,900 Naira. It took it from 610 Naira official CBN market price to 1,620 Naira today. Official price, all in 1 year. So you can imagine what it's going to be like in the next so by year, Jackie might explain.
All the items that we use in producing all our ingredients are all spiking in prices. Sugar has increased to about 82,000, depending on where you are sourcing it from about 74,000 Naira. Ascorbic acid as preservative has increased from about 43,000 to about 80,000 Naira. Softener has increased from 800,000 per 20 kg bag to about 1.6 million, depending on the type you are buying. Some even as much as 2.8 million for a bag. Yeah, yeast that we used to buy in January this year for about 20-something thousand Naira a carton is today about 62,000 Naira. All right. Eggs, of course, you know, is going for about 4,008 to 4,005 per crate. Milk, that was 70-something thousand at the beginning of this year, 80-something thousand, is going for about 110,000. These are materials that we use in producing our bread. Salt just increased last week here. Salt that was 11,500 is now 16,000 Naira. So you can see that the increase spikes across all our ingredients. And mark you, we have distribution vans. Some of them use diesel and some of them use fuel. Those of them that are using fuel, you know the crisis in fuel in Nigeria. I just came back from Warri yesterday with my family. I bought fuel in Warri for 950 Naira per liter. I came into Lagos. Coming here now, there is no fuel anywhere. I drove all the way from Surulere to your studio here now. There is no fuel anywhere. So how do we even distribute our own products? Look at the whole thing. Your costing determines what you do in bread making. So if you don't get the costing right, what does it mean? It means you are going to dovetail into a loss. Your cost must match your revenue. But in our instance, the revenue is disproportionately to the cost. So what do you mean? What does it make? It tells you that the price of bread will keep spiking because the other ingredients that enables you to produce bread are all going all the.
It's a simple thing. It's a simple math. Just go look at the source. The source is where these rogues are already. They've already shared your common patrimony even before you even see them. In the years in Nigeria, they produce crude oil. But now here that they take care of them, they know they see them. This is why you can't say it. To the point that Nigeria is so broke, bankrupt, that the company they opened in the name of NNPC is now using NNPC logo and borrowing money for Nigeria. Wait for it too. Since Nigeria no get money from, since NNPC couldn't remit the money they are making from crude oil to Nigerian Federation accounts, what did they do? They offered to help Nigeria solicit for crude oil for cash loan. I haven't finished. It simply means the future oil exploration in Nigeria, crude oil exploration in Nigeria, they've already borrowed against it for the next 20-25 years. there's some part of Nigeria, amount of Nigerian crude oil that would have to go into servicing debts. The cash they gave these guys to pay people in order to reduce the price of petrol. Subsidy they told you was gone. They were borrowing money to pay themselves the subsidy in your name against your crude oil. Baba, Nigeria to finish. You know why you must run in late all the time that Nigeria to finish. These are the reasons. Because you know something, the guys still have the what do you call it, the kind of power to further wreak more damages. And for any time, that don't have to finish, eh? Somebody said they seize your plane. I mean, we're not like somebody no. On mama pick, wale yo koko anywhere to batiri any. To alo call a bit me by. Shangzun have been conning. Only the northern China. And on create a colony and a separate place in it. And not only from Nigeria, there are many parts of Africa that they will do the same. But now you are watching them do it because that's what they've done. As we speak, they've facilitated a 3.3 billion from Afrexim Bank. 3.3 billion loan. $3.3 billion loan. That they can't tell you what they've done with the money. They use it to pay subsidy to their friends. And their friends are like, we are just doing our business. But these guys are paying so much money that could actually really build a standard refinery in a single year. I'm just saying. That's how much they are sharing. And they call it subsidy. It goes on like that, and not like that. Because the future, man, don't shake me. It's the future. They told these ones that they should come and buy egg. Government is selling egg half price so that you can go and resell. When they got there, they realized that Bajue noni on a scam.
Ṣé ìjọba nìyẹn a dẹ̀ ní ká fọkàn balẹ̀ ìjọba fúnra wọn mọ́tò 133,445 ṣé yẹn dáa a dẹ̀ ní ká fọkàn balẹ̀ rẹ́ẹ̀tì ti di 80,000 kẹ́gì òróró ti di 70,000 naira ẹ jẹ́ ṣàánú wa o epo ti wọ́n jẹ́ ṣàánú wa o ẹ ṣàánú wa o wọ́n bá ẹni kírẹ́tì ẹni 45 kí ló dé 45 ẹ jẹ́ ṣàánú wa ẹjọ́ ṣàánú.
Okay, the condition don't make you wise now.
The government is don't wise. That time where my house now.
Yeah.
But now, I will make my house is $5 because I don't forget to figure that one. My children want shop. Say that one alive.
You go work from Monday to Saturday. You go pick 5,000.
May Hausa come. If Hausa fit do am, we go support. Say you understand? May Hausa come now, we go support.
What about people come?
We go support. We are not doing tribalism. At that time where our eyes not clear, I will do tribalism.
God bless you. God bless you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
I'm highly disappointed of Nigerian government because the Nigerian government we are highly disappointed in them due to foreseen circumstances. Definitely, I'm one of those people are proving people should die in coronavirus is more better than people should die in hungers. Hunger kills more than coronavirus because some people are less privileged. Due to circumstances that I said it, some people are less privileged, which they are based on daily pay, which are not even based on salaries. But our government thinks that the lockdown is the best solution to coronavirus and proving it to an extent and to the levels of alacrity that if someone die in coronavirus, it's more efficient to die in hunger because some people will be at indoor. There's no a way to make.
Thank you, Jerry. Prof. You don't have to kind of like understand him, but some of us do understand him. There is no magic, eh? When you look at the actions, I said, you don't listen to what they are saying. All you have to do is to look at what they are doing. That's all you need. That is where the answer is. Oh, they said, let's give them time, this or that. But life, a lot more gauge, yeah, man. It's so easy. And that's why we kind of agree that a lot of people who have made themselves voluntary slaves. And we do anything and everything to drag everyone into their bigotry that doesn't really pay anyone. Everybody, you see those ones on the street here. I'm not saying that you should take them for their word, though. Don't take them. I'm just saying that. I'm just showing you what it is like. Government told them that they are subsidizing food. So subsidizing food for Nigerians who are claiming to be hungry. Now you went to the government stand and you are like, it's even cheaper. What we are selling is cheaper than what the government is offering. So where is the subsidy? Everything is bajue. You just need to pay attention. They told you they build Lagos, Abi. Even you where they live in the shithole, where they live inside that Lagos, you join them. Now, in fairness, because I think we should always remember that, in fairness, the entire Lagos state rejected Thiefnubu and APC. Let's be honest. So that whenever we get carried away, right? When people kind of like scream and complain, we tend to just believe that, oh yeah, every one of you, why are you complaining now? I am guilty of the same, okay? I'm guilty of that. I'm just like, well, face here. And my own reason why I always like let them face it is because I feel like if you're actually struggling and suffering, even if they cheated you, you still have the chance of standing up against them, standing up to them. Sure you get, or die trying, you know? But we all know that people rejected Thiefnubu. They rejected him in front of his own house. They rejected him at the back of his own house. The people of Lagos showed Thiefnubu that if not for a rotten system and Mr. Yakubu, you are nothing. Not even with all of your Agbero, all the people you are giving money to, Baba, they couldn't deliver him. Alimosho local government is the biggest local government in the entire Nigeria, most populated local government in the entire country. Alimosho local government, that's the base of AD, AC, ACN, and then APC in Lagos. Baba, don't let us kind of, some people are trying to change the narrative now that they just wanted that to be like that. Shem wine. Ask them what it took them to actually rig that of Ekiti. Ekiti, their result came first. Now everything is coming to light. Well, everything was never in the dark anyway. Thiefnubu that is shouting on Ulokon. How many states did he win in Yoruba land? How many? So they are loud, but they are in the minority. Without the rotten system that Nigeria presents, majority of those who are parading themselves as leaders or representatives of every region in Nigeria, they will be history. And I'm not kind of, trying to exaggerate here. A working system will get rid of these guys, not their money. But yeah, a rotten system, a compromised system that is deliberately put together that way, I still believe anyway that, if you believe in what they are saying for an inch, you are, I don't know if I should call you a fool so that you won't feel offended. I'm not yet in that zone of kind of offending people this evening because I'm trying to kind of see if even the Abobakus can reason with me, because we are now talking about things that actually affect you directly now and what affects them. Now we are talking about the Ronukus. I think it's time. So today is August 20, right? 20th of August. Sorry to those of you who are watching the replay. So it doesn't matter. The message is the same, okay? August 20th is the Isese Day, the Yoruba traditional, and culture day every year. And I'm happy that majority of the Yoruba states or the Western region declared today as a public holiday. I don't know if a lot of you observed it or not. So I decided to come in my costume, right? I call some, and I wish, number one, I really do wish that those who have the authority to protect the what do you call it, the tradition of the Yorubas. Those who are supposed to display the culture, the tradition that a lot of you have heard about the Yoruba people. They are the criminals of today who have robbed that culture and tradition in the mud. And they have kind of, they have painted an entire race as people, right, who are low thinkers, which is not true. You know, low thinkers are people with low self-esteem. People always kind of who are losers, right? And they blame other people for their problems. Do you get what I mean now? That's exactly what the rogues who have been in charge of Yoruba land have been. But yeah, the fact that they were able to say, you know, that's fair. So that's where we're going to go next. Before I kind of also tell you another thing about August 20. You do know that, right? Isese Day, somewhere in Lagos, where at Oniru, right? So they had this kind of like a display. I'll tell you more when I come back. Got more, but I think I should say this. The Yoruba culture and tradition and the Omoluabis in the Yorubas, all of this can be found in our language. I don't know what it is like anymore, especially for this generation of young Yorubas. But when people like us were growing up, we were raised to try to be noble. You know what I mean? It is such a thing that every young Yoruba aspired to be noble. And how do you become a noble Yoruba? Being noble means, becoming noble, a noble Yoruba, comes from hard work that a lot of us or our own progenitors have, they had to show, where people tried and did become the best in every of their chosen field. But when people like us were growing up, we had a lot of people, role models to look up to in different fields: academia, business, research, travel, culture, tradition, royalty. We have a lot of role models that you could read beyond the title that actually really carries. You can read more about their contribution, okay, to the growth and expansion of this same Yoruba culture, tradition, language, and all that. Until Some of them got baptized and recruited into the backward, non-progressive contraption politics of Nigeria, the selfish parts. And then they all stopped caring about what really makes us Yorubas. They are more interested on how to show or display their ill-gotten wealth, that it doesn't really matter anymore where you make your money from. Just make it. Okay? Do some charity here and there, philanthropies here and there, become a shifter and sitter, like to the point that people like me are now saying known career criminals, not only becoming titled holders in Yoruba land, they are holding sensitive positions in Yoruba land, like even the royalty. And the result of that is what we have in our society today, where all the things that used to make us outstanding, like education, the successive criminals in Yoruba land have now turned education into about an education help. Who's school help? It's a pandemic that you see a 14, 15-year-old planning on how to become so wealthy, thinking of money rituals. And like, it used to be like things of outliers. Like you say, oh, maybe it's because of the family this individual comes from. They bastardized the tradition of Yoruba land. They destroyed the generation of Yorubas that could possibly push and take forward this glorious race. They turned our people into scavengers. They turned them into beggars. Education is now like, who education help? Ajaero is now writing a book for professors to read. Yoruba tradition has become so bastardized that we now have those who are mounting the Yoruba traditional stools, kneeling down in front of their foreign religions. Kneeling down in churches, in mosques. Alaji, alajas, deacon, deaconess, pastor, they want to be royal fathers. They are becoming royal fathers in Yoruba land. And guess what? They are doing everything they could to tear apart everything that actually hold us dear. And I'll tell you one. In Yoruba land, while I was growing up, don't be say bad people no day. But we had a system that you had a choice. You have to do everything within your power never to become that other people for the sake of your family, that name. I was raised to believe that my name is so valuable than anything in this world. No wealth, no riches is as valuable as that my name. So that when you hear that name, I was raised to work hard so much, right? Not to get involved in anything that is going to end up tarnishing that name. But while I was growing up, the whole world changed. The criminals who were supposed to be looking up to, the people who were supposed to be looking up to, they were real criminals who don't give a damn about anything tradition. Now we started having drug dealers. We started having human traffickers, complete fraudsters, holding royal stools, holding this position and that position, misleading our people until value doesn't really matter anymore. It is what you have to show. The money, they say. How much money do you have? Who is your father? And all that stuff. So yeah, today is Isese Day. Maybe it's also an opportunity for some of you to have a reflection. What kind of children are we raising? And where do we think they are going to grow up? The children, they denied education, denied the proper infrastructure. Yoruba land was supposed to be the beacon of education, especially in the entire West Africa when it started. Now we have Ajaeros. We even have people who are kind of educated, but they are aspiring to be Ajaeros. because you have to survive in the economy created by these criminals. To the point that we now have uneducated, miseducated, unemployed, unemployable, unproductive, hateful, bigoted, focal. I mean, what do you call that one again? Is that not called like a directionless? Yes, directionless young Yorubas who have become parrots for the same people that are mortgaging their lives and their future. We are seeing it. You know the saddest thing, by the way? My own forebearers, as bad as they might say Nigeria was, they were not like rich, but they were not poor. I figured out that in their own time, most of the things that a lot of us these days, the age of 30, 40, 50, still finding so hard to put together, they've done them. And they did them in such a way that some of us look back and be like, this is my father's land. Today you have no land of yours. You have no inheritance because some of them have probably either taken away from you or you've sold them. Some of us at the age of 30, 40, can't even hold together a family. No skill, no education, no direction, and all of that. And these are the creation of the rogues who believes that all they need is just to be old. And therefore, they are immune from from taking responsibility for all their actions. They gaslight the people. They turned the people that were supposed to be thinking on how to further make Yoruba land better or so, working on how to, or possibly transferring their hatred or their aggression, right? They are transferring the aggression into an hatred as directed by the same rogues who destroyed them. Don't make me sound like, what are you talking about? I'll tell you. These guys destroyed Yoruba land, and they destroyed a lot of younger generation. And some of them are today, they are watching me. They are in their 60s. They are in their late 50s. They watch the land degenerated, the institutions desecrated. But they are never angry at those who did all of that. They are angry at others that did them nothing. Today is August 20. We're supposed to be seeing the Ronukus mobilizing and then chasing away the Igbos from Yoruba land. Because no matter what is wrong with us in Yoruba land, there is a fragment, minute, inconsequential, loudmouth, bad stats that would rather blame somebody else, like these guys who threatened just 3 weeks ago. I was expecting them to come out today. Inconsequential lots, sewage dwellers.
So Yoruba, we should stop complaining because we need to protest. We need to come out and protest. Igbo are disrespecting our institution. They disrespect our traditional ruler. They disrespect all our headers. And they can't take it in their own space. Therefore, we must not fold our hand. I just have to tell everybody this. This protest, Igbo must go. And the scrap of a unitary system is a must. And it's coming. And it's going to be loud. It's going to, whoever that want to die should go and die. It's in our space. This is our heritage. This is the land our father fought for. And we will not allow anybody, no matter how many acres of land you buy, it is our land. And your land, your purchased land have expired time. Therefore, you cannot claim ownership. So thank you, Madam Majoke, for that.
Sir, let me just quickly say this. I appreciate you, sir, Baba Omega. But we need to be very careful so that we don't play into the hands of the enemies. We are still within the context of Nigeria, and asking for the expulsion of any ethnicities within our space, we can make statements like that, but we need to be very, very careful of the diplomatic consequences of how they are going to twist it. You know, we live in a place where people are naturally very, very manipulative already. So I support that the end should come against the unitary system of government, but the issue of saying any ethnicities must be forced out of our space cannot be. We need to be very careful. You can be accused of terrorism, incitement, or any other thing.
Did they sorry, so
Bunch of clowns. Well, I like that last guy, you know. It's probably like a reasonable guy that felt like, come on, guys, come on. People like say this hatred where we they push for Thiefnubu. People like say we don't take them too far. Let's use our sense. So you cannot sit in America or sit in the UK and think you are like, you know, you are like faceless. Be careful. If you sit in America and you're asking the people who can't even buy Gary to go and buy kerosene and start attacking Igbos, they go find you. So that was kind of like one sensible guy in there. Indeed. Yorubas, generally, let me say this as well. A lot of us, I don't know if probably we can say it's a means of indoctrination. I doubt if we have less than 80% Yorubas. I'm talking about the real Yorubas, so that wasn't raised to believe that one day, Yoruba is going to be a nation. I don't think there is any, because there's always this part of our growing up. It's about Yoruba, Western region. Western region. Man, we could have been a country. Or West, you know, that kind of thing. Many of us were raised that way, that no matter how long it takes, Yoruba is going to be out of Nigeria. And I bet you that is the reason why some of those people parading themselves, that's why they let those criminals, Thiefnubu and his gang, they actually milk that opportunity. Because, again, I don't know about some of you, the Gen Z and then Gen Alpha, but I can tell you this, that all of us who were born in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and maybe early 90s, Yorubas, even through our educational system, we were raised and reminded of what we used to be like, the Western region. And if I'm lying, somebody should tell me here. Depends on where you went to school. So there was always that mentality. There's always that expectation that, you know, someday, we're going to get out of this place. And those who milked that got a lot of Yorubas interested in Nigeria politics because they made them believe that they were standing for the Yorubas agenda. Agendas like restructuring, agendas like, regional autonomy. Agendas like that are so familiar with Yorubas. Even Peking, we be Peking for Yoruba land when I was growing up. But they fumbled that to what it is, okay? So it's a normal thing for us that if we have genuine people who can show the pathway of how we are actually going to either get out of this contraption, or cut ourselves an autonomy that is going to keep us safer from this madness to some extent. Is this going to happen? But you can easily tell those who are like chancers, liars, opportunists, who knows that an average Yoruba person is always going to align with anything that says Yoruba nation, and Yoruba will get this, so Yoruba will be that eventually. They knew it, so they told them. They were shouting Yoruba nation, Yoruba nation. Then immediately, Thiefnubu and his gang, immediately they are now in charge of Nigeria, where they can buy themselves, whatever they want and all that. Yorubas who are also part of that suffering and hardship in the contraption, they do not really matter anymore to these who claim to be pro-Yoruba. How is Thiefnubu pro-Yoruba? Enough that none of them can say, look at what he's doing for you. As a Yoruba people, look at what Thiefnubu has done for you. You cannot compare yourself with others. Look, the other places are complaining about expensive food in Yoruba land or more. You can, they say, and that's because of Thiefnubu. Imagine, make I give you an instance, right? Imagine, let's say you are not a Yoruba Ponu. Okay? Let's say, oh, Ishe Ponu. Okay? Let's assume that as people, they complain things hard. A bag of rice is sold for 90,000, 95,000. But somehow in Yoruba land, a bag of rice is just 15,000 naira. How did they do it? We don't know. With a 5,000 naira, you can go to the hospital in Yoruba land, and by the time you leave, they will give you medication that is worth more than 100,000 naira. I have been there because they have subsidized their healthcare in Yoruba land. Everyone who has, heart problems, special, medical conditions in Yoruba land or more, they get special treatment. They get, the doctor sees them every now and then. So imagine, everybody, the Nigerian national grid is collapsing. Yeah. But Yoruba land have 24 hours electricity, 24 hours a running train. See this one. So you want Thiefnubu to do all of that in 1 year? No. I'm not saying he should do it in 1 year. At least if you want to do something for 4 years, you must start showing what you are building, Abi. I'm just saying that let's assume that that's your situation. Okay? That is your situation. Ajaero is here criticizing Thiefnubu because other people are not enjoying it. But you are a Yoruba, living in Yoruba land, enjoying cheap medical treatment, enjoying cheap food, enjoying cheap housing, enjoying electricity, and having all these things. And now you are abusing my... Shut up your mouth. You are just someone Ali. Instead of you to support your brother, show you more right to some extent, even though I can still win you and say you are selfish. Let's assume that the Yoruba land is enjoying all of this. Ajaero is now condemning APC, condemning Thiefnubu. If you abuse me that time, to some extent, we're not right. Even though I will still beat you and say, Thiefnubu is not the president of Yoruba land, it's the president of Nigeria, Abi. But these criminals know say you are suffering. You can't pay your children's school fees. Your children are dropping out of schools. You are losing family members too, because you cannot afford 10,000, 5,000, 20,000 naira hospital bill. Baba, you have lost your family because you can't take care of them. Look at your children, see what they are going through. Look at yourself. You never used to be like this. Now somebody is coming on and telling you that. Don't listen to anybody. Let us give them time. I'm talking to you directly. Those of you who probably get this message. Would you believe that? Don't listen to him. So you are suffering. They are just telling you to stop. Don't complain. You are a Yoruba. Let us support our brother. Babakidofe Koshe. What do they want you to do to support Thiefnubu? That me then tell you. Maybe if they tell you, you can do it, Abi, and life will be easier. I mean, won't you be interested? Let's even just be neutral now. Let's use neutrality now. That if you know, if Thiefnubu, they say, we need to support, we all need to come together and support. Thank you. What kind of support do you really need to make things better? You realize that they just want you to shut up. Just shut up and die. You are not the only one hungry. Just shut up. What are you doing about the hunger? Shut up your mouth. Are you the only one that is hungry? Just stop talking about it. Let's talk about Bibi Naija. Let us talk about the Igbos. The Igbos are buying all the shops. They are insulting our Oba. They are insulting our leader. Irony, should every time when they tell you that Igbos are insulting our leader, now because say people, everybody they call Thiefnubu drug dealer, certificate forger. And you see, if me, Mayegun Yoruba, if I say it, they don't know how to abuse. They don't know what to say to me. Because they are talking about Yoruba criminals, right? And I don't like criminals, whether na Yoruba, whether na Hausa, whether na Fulani, I don't care who you are. I will actually say what you are doing before I even call you a criminal. Did you hear what that Igbo man said? What did he say? He just called Thiefnubu. He just called Ashiwaju a drug dealer. Can you imagine? This is how the Igbos are insulting the Yoruba. Abon Shiri. Now call Louis a drug dealer. Or do you think it was like why do you think Thiefnubu is not suing anybody for calling him a druggie? He's a drug abuser. He's a drug user. He is also a drug dealer. He's a drug banker. Accountant for drug dealers. Kí ló ń ṣe now? So when you told North America that try to stop, we come and expose the FBI file. Show one. Person we talk saying go school before they even founded the school. He attended the school before they founded it. He went to school as a female. So if I say it now, what do you call that? I'm insulting my leader. You and your leader. A bunch of low self-esteem buffoons, cretins, cretinians. They will sit down there and watch my video and get mad, and then they'll go and talk about me later, and I won't even see the video. Thiefnubu does not represent Yoruba. It doesn't give a damn about Yoruba people or Yoruba. It doesn't give a damn about you. The only way Thiefnubu can show that he actually loves Yoruba is when his policy is your president now. When his policy lifts you out of poverty, not recruit you and your next 10 generation into poverty. Do you know that some of you, if that contraption continues, some of you, your generation to the 5th to the 6th, so if you're going fake with the level of indebtedness they have put forward in Nigeria, 10th generation, they are going to be born into poverty. That's why we're asking them, break it up now. They say, no, don't break it now. We can break it up after Thiefnubu. You get that? And therefore, let us just look for who to blame and possibly who to attack. And I support that. You know, these are a bunch of criminals, okay? They do not represent the majority of Yoruba people. Anyone who is running his legitimate business in Yoruba land, yeah, that's what we need. A plural, you know, the plurality, they say, right? The plurality where everyone comes and build a community that is comfortable and conducive for everyone. That is what the Yorubas, that's who we are. My father's house in Ketu, I believe people who are living there, I don't know them. They are living there for free. That's in Lagos. My great grandfather's house in Odogbolu was given to non-Ijebus. That was how I got to. I grew up with Igedes, Yorubas, Izobos, Igbos. You know, I got a few like Ishekiri, Jaws. You know, I'm just trying to kind of remember some of this my childhood stuff, right? Hausa, Fulani, this or that. But in my own house, right? Alice, the oldest tenant in our house. Alice, very old woman. She's from Esiopo in Imo, I believe. Esiopo or something. Alice. I can't remember her other name. When I left Nigeria, the entire house was left for people I don't know, and never met. But one more in Rockiron, anything, I want to be a bridge that Thiefnubu created. I want to be a bridge, I want to Rockiron, like Kalu himself. They are going about to try to tarnish the image of the Yorubas as people who are not receptive, and people will just so these are low lives in Yoruba land. They will disappear in due time. And that's why I'm so happy today that a lot of you are already speaking out now. You need to. Don't let anybody, don't let all these rockers, right? Do not let any of them, by any means, because of Thiefnubu, the drug dealer, shut you up. And I've told you this too. For those of you who are like Igbo bigot yourself, I do not really have much word for you because you are just the same as this Ronukus. You are also in the minority, unfortunately. And that's why everybody needs to speak up. Okay? You do. You should. So yeah, going forward, the Nigerian army have been accused, and I believe they've been accused of the act of terror right there in Imo States. Olu, Osu, these people have been under the Nigerian army terrorism for more than 5 years. The one that happened over this past weekend. The Nigerian military started looting people's homes, armless civilians, right? Assault them, beat them, shot at them, even detonated the explosive in their buildings after stealing an old woman's money. Like, you know what? Mogo.
Anụrụ m na o nwere ndị mbere ebe a. Onye ọ n'ụdịrị efe ha yi, onye ọ ndị amị dị ha ka ọ ndị rudere efe ha isi. Kanda. Okay. Ele na ha siri bịa here.
Anyị nọkọtara anyị na-eti n'nga. Nọkọta asa.
Onwe ha na-eme nga. Okay, nke ka emeka.
A na-eme ụka nwa.
Ụka nwa mụrụ ọhụrụ.
Nwata mụrụ ejima mụrụ anyị karịa m ụka nwa.
Okay. Okay.
Anọkọta asa abịala ha na-eme n'anyị na-abịala ha ya mara na ha na-eti na-abịa. Na ha hụ ndị mmegide nyere n'anyị.
Okay.
Anyị abụlaga so onye ọbụla abụlaga. Anyị ejejasị onye ọbụla jasi ibe anọ. Ihe anyị nọzi nga anyị nọ m galakọ akpụ. Ha agagharị ha gara raụnd. Even checha ibe. Bike windo ha bulie ya elu emeghị onye ha hụrụ. Anyị jacha nga anyị nọ. Ha na-apatrol ebe n'osisi ha nwụ n'ụwa. Ha na-agarịba n'osisi ha. Ha agarịba n'garịcha anọkọta okwu ha eburu moto ha ahụ amaọdụ tanka ha buru ya gagide garuo saịdị ibe ihe otu mkpu ha dị tọnụọ bịa ha negazi nga bidozi damage every time. Lee windo nga akụkachara ya akụkọ. Lee windo ibe. Akụkọ dọọ akụkọ. Lee dọọ mgbasị agbasị akụkọ ya akụkọ. Lee ibe. Akụkọ ya akpa m.
Ha mechapụta nga.
Buru ego mitiri ụmụada m na-ebe
Jesus. Ọ ha batara n'iru ma. Isi ha were ego ole?
Ha buru
ego ole? Jesus. Ihe wa akwụkwọ mitin ahụ. Jesus. Have my bread. What if possible? I hope both of them are man and Deborah. Okay. Good. Done. Apa DJ? It's okay. Here now, anu ajuru this basket. Anu ajuru basket here. Here kaji una anu mo for here like this. And really nonsense people. As you can see, this is today's date is 18th of August 2024. As you can see, this is Obo Autonomous Community. This a house belongs to one Mr. Ebuka Okafabi. Okay, Ebuka okay. This house was just newly built. Struggle to get the money in order to build the house, where to sleep. Look at what the government did this afternoon. It happened that this guy have children. The wife just give birth to twins. And today happened to be the day they want to celebrate naming ceremony. And he invited people, as you can see the calopin, invited people. Look at what these people did here today. Number one, this is sugarcane. They came to steal. They plucked all the sugarcane here. Secondly, as you can see, they have destroyed everything. Let me show you something. And this is DJ. If you look at this place, you see that this is DJ's. Listen, look at what they did. They have to destroy everything and burn into ashes. This is, as you can see, they burned everything to ashes. This is it. This speaker, everything. Look at. So I'm going to show you more. And this is speakers. This speaker, they burnt the speakers to ashes. As you can see, if you look at, this is rice cooked by celebrants. This is what they did. This is what they did to what our brother Ebuka, prepared for people to come and enjoy with him, to celebrate with him for the twins. Everything. Just imagine. Like as I was saying, this is another one. This is another one. Look at what happened. They burned everything to ashes. This is rice. This is rice. Okay, go and show me the drink. This is calopin. They burned.
And that's from Imo State. How about farmers in Ezeagu? Did I pronounce that right? Ezeagu in Enugu State. They came under the attack of the Fulani terrorists just yesterday.
Okay. I call Agrica, this farm. Okay. Where's I got about here before I hear Diana? So nation maybe I am better. Okay. And the night be only what is here. The fly near him, Japa. Had you as the eye, get the high name. I got your maybe in your bar. Still happy to go maybe in your high bar. Nobody outside him, but okay. Maybe was everything. I went to a house. Even one night working, how will she work? Okay. How will she work? In your had your church. Where's the why I took one hand by Gante again. Okay. So after Guy towards the house of wire, like dear Jelly Bank. Okay. So from there, I didn't anymore here bomb. Don't invite. Okay, I just anymore here. Yeah. Where's your name? What is there? Okay. Can you hear you in question? Yeah, man.
na be a wish you. My wife no uncle by my wife na my son. Hanover may escape where does your report? Hanover sees emotion.
Okay.
Mbom when your man name exchange of words. Michelle, will you kill me and kill my wife? For what? And I'm hand deep man German information kai issue with them no woman. No need to have much release them.
Okay.
So I'm no one for that year work when the bam and a man before.
Because can they be particular? Can they be? Agree can they get him? As a my bear. As a my go boy, didn't bear. Didn't Zago. And good states. Okay.
So during that time, I don't know.
Man. Okay. 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 Yes. Thank you. Diamond.
Imagine raising a child or raising children under such atmosphere of violence, left, right, and center. You can't even get protected by the government because the government is leading a charge against you. And you can't you can't even protect yourself without you being labeled a terrorist that is harming to overthrow government. And children are trapped in all of this. Children. And you think you are not raising the future generation of radicals, those that would have become so radicalized that they are just going to grow up to hate Nigeria more. Do you not know that with the actions of these guys, all of the actions across Nigeria, with children that are being raised, children that are growing up in this chaotic environment, right? Do you really think they're going to grow up and be subservient? You're going to see a lot of them violent against the entire system in such a way you've never seen before. The monster that you are breeding. People can't defend themselves. You can't call the police, you can't call the security to come and protect you because they are leading a charge to get you killed. They robbed an old woman of her money. Destroyed the party, the naming ceremony of someone, all for what? Because that's what you see, somebody was asking, well, why? There's no why. In eastern part of Nigeria, they have people, they have their own commanders who have designated this place as a military zone. No joke. And because Oples Uzodingba was never a governor or voted for by the people, is like the people actually like, what do you say? It's like it has this score to settle with people, some people in Imo State, to teach them a lesson for rejecting him privately and publicly. Also people, these are people from his own area too. How can you hate your people that much? That you are comfortable to have all the military go in there and commit genocide, cover it up. And if any of them make it to the news, call them IPOB. As if to say it's actually like the license, because you're IPOB, it is the license for them to kill you. That is what they've guaranteed in that region. And it has nothing to do with the fact that people want Biafra or not. No. It's just these lunatics who believes that that is the only way they can continue to be part and parcel of this rotten contraption at the top. It's like a bargaining chip. They started it, they didn't know how to end it. That's the way I see it. How could anybody be so comfortable watching their own people killed? Harmless people. Harmless people. People who have nothing to do to you. But you wanted their land? So you'd have to take their lives first. Professor Lumumba, in that same Enugu, There's a video making the round. When the state governor and the state priests put up a show. This one. It is the, I don't know how they pronounce their title, something on here, right? It's the Archbishop, Archdiocese, or something diocese, I don't know. So he went to beg the governor to come and sit at the reserved seats. That's what happened in that video, okay? So, but go down your necessary, in this day and time. Now that video is going to be there forever. Anyway, and if the old man Congo misbehave or the establishment in Enugu decided to treat his own effort, right? That video will come back again. He practically went to the governor, don't sit in the crowd. Come, we have a special seat for you as a VIP. And the guy was like, no, I'm taking father taking. I mean, I don't know. DJ Chicken. Anyway, please, I am very comfortable here. Like it's okay. It's okay. I understand your. No, I kneel down, beg you. No, don't kneel down. Very dramatic, yeah. Right, Professor Lumumba, also recently shared his views. You know, his own talk is mostly about leadership, this leadership, that, right? And this is the latest. Let's hear it.
We must also ask the question, are coup d'etats only mounted by men and women in uniform?
No, they are not. It's practically just reminding everyone on that. Coup, like what happened in Nigeria, is not always about military and guns. What about the judiciary? The judicial coup. Now let's go back to it.
We must also ask the question, are coup d'etats only mounted by men and women in uniform? No. I've seen coups mounted by judiciaries in Africa. I've seen coups being mounted by the political class in Africa. When people engage in sophistry in interpreting constitution, those are also coup d'etats. And I would want us, therefore, as we talk about strengthening democracy, we must also talk about strengthening institutions. Whether it is in Kenya, whether it is in Zimbabwe, whether it is in Nigeria, whether it is in Ghana, we must have a culture of respecting institutions. Sometimes in Africa, we behave as if institutions work on their own motion. No. Institutions are as strong as the men and women who occupy them. If you have wrong men and wrong women in office, no matter how strong the institution you claim to be strong, it will not perform, because the history of nature is one: garbage in, garbage out. And if that is the case, therefore, we who are gathered here and talking about governance, this is serious business. What we are talking about here is serious business. I want you to look at Africa now with me. In Sudan, in Khartoum, because of bad governance and absence of democracy, no schooling going on in Khartoum. If you are a university professor, no university to lecture at. There is no agriculture going on there. There are no health services going on there in Khartoum. The things that they built, they are destroying. It will take generations to rebuild Sudan. We are talking about development. In the health sector, all the children that ought to have been vaccinated will not be vaccinated, which means that all the disease that we had conquered will come back again, so that the health burden will be that heavy. No food is being planted, so that we'll once again be importing rice and wheat from Ukraine, which is at war. Look at the Sahel now. Mali is de facto divided into two, no agriculture going on. So that you will be importing chicken from Brazil, chicken. No agriculture. I'm talking about development, brothers and sisters. If we are sick because there is no research going on in our universities, no research. We receive medicine from India, from China, and we take the medicine by faith because we do not know what they contain. Our bureaus of standardization have no standards for these things. And if you doubt me, only recently we had syrup imported from India. How many children did it kill in the Gambia? We have no standardization. So we are talking about serious business in Africa. Go to the Democratic Republic of Congo, the eastern part of it, over 120 armed groups. The busiest airspace in the continent of Africa. The rest of the world is taking our resources. There is a new scramble for Africa. Today, Africa is a theater for other worlds. If the British have gone and they have not gone, if the French have gone and they have not gone, if the Portuguese have gone and they have not gone, if the Belgians have gone and they have not gone, Chinese are also here. They are here. Building roads, building stadia. The Turks are here. The Qataris are here. The Russians are here. And yet Africans somehow believe that when we remove one slave master and we bring another slave master, then it's better. So we hear Africans praising Wagner in Russia. African intellectuals, I think.
You won't need a car to travel. You won't need an aeroplane to travel. You will just say, I want to go to London. And you'll be in London. Whether you believe it or not.
Thank you, dear Professor Lumumba. Just some few words that we should hear. Here is one I kind of regret that I didn't make this a major part of the chat this evening, but I will still not sort of ignore it, okay? On your screen right here is one rejection letter of a supposed Nigerian nurse in the United States of America that will not be getting their, membership of or their license to practice extended, because Nigeria is doing everything to make sure that not only that those who are nurses in Nigeria or doctors in Nigeria will not be able to leave Nigeria. Even those of you who left, you will be rendered useless enough that you will be forced back to Nigeria. So right now they said that you need to do some confirmation as a medical practitioner, right? So that this confirmation of some of your ID is to be done by Nigeria. Now, unfortunately, on the Nigerian part, they said Nigerian government has suspended the NMC verification. Do you get that now? So it is like saying you are Nigerian, you have this ID and that, you will send the detail to NMC Nigeria. Okay? And the NMC would have to kind of confirm that you are who you say you are. And you can continue your other applications or whatever you need to do in your country of residence. Now that is where Thiefnubu and his gang are dealing with those of you who have left Nigeria as a professional. You're either going to have to stop being a nurse, or you would have to go back to Nigeria. So this is the latest one. Apart from those, our brethren in UAE, trapped there because of bilateral corruption of Bokohari that led to the cancellation of your, suspension of issuing of visa to Nigerians. Right now in UAE, they have a policy that allow everyone who has overstayed, if your visa has expired in UAE, you can now go back and quickly apply for an extension. Nigerians won't be able to participate because they are still banned by the UAE. So similarly, those of you who are nurses, like I said, I should have made this the point of the conversation this evening, but I'll leave that information as it there, okay? So the next time when I can really elaborate on it and possibly hear from other people who this was affected. Initially, some people didn't know that it was going to affect them, whether you are in the UK, whether you are in the US. The whole thing that confirmed you as a nurse, the one that confirmed you as a doctor or so from Nigeria, is not being validated because they've stopped the confirmation. Nowhere to. And all these institutions in these countries, they can't process your applications if you are not verified by the NMC. I've heard this for the past 4 or 5 days now. There's no single statement from Thiefnubu, not a single one, from the government of Nigeria. And guess what? There are thousands of people that this is going to affect, including some of them who are defending the contraption after leaving Nigeria. I'm not going to say I'm going to feel happy for those. No, I'm not. Because this is people's livelihood, people's careers. And because of the rogues in Nigeria, it is about to take a turn. Obi has something I want to share with you.
Really battered the economy. There are those who argue that, and they were said on this program that the Buhari government set the economy back 20 years. And that anybody who had to opportunity to run this country after Buhari will experience the kind of problem that we're experiencing today. And do you think that that's not the case?
I actually did say that publicly, that it was not going to be a piece of cake to run the economy because of the absolute devastation of everything that even resembles economic policy. I don't think they were doing economic policy under President Buhari. But this particular administration agreed with it. They agreed with everything that Buhari was doing. So in their own case, nobody should feel sorry for them. And you think that they were culpable? They were culpable in it. I think that the problem with the Nigerian society is that we quickly forget these things. I particularly, and you know that I'm very public on my opinion about the governance of the country that I am from. And that's because I understand the basic principles of democracy, that you cannot simply be a person who's got the privilege of education, not just basic education, but you're very advanced in your knowledge, and also you have political literacy. And just because you are in a place of privilege and comfort, then it doesn't matter to you how the country is governed. It should matter. Even when I was in government, my boss, he used to say, in cabinet, he would say to anybody, just leave or be alone. If, say, you know, without being in my cabinet, do I need a Ganifa Wehimi? I used to think it was a what do you call it, a compliment. And I would say that to him, that's a compliment. Because if we did not interrogate ourselves, if we did not question ourselves, then we would lead the country into the bush. So for me, my point is that when this economy was badly run under the APC administration of President Buhari, all of these people that are telling us that the economy was badly managed were agreeing with the policy direction of that administration. I mean, well, why now should they try to dissociate themselves?
On one hand is the fact that the economy was badly managed, and I'm yet.
Anyway, on that note, we should possibly bring this conversation to a close and maybe open the line, but not without showing you the meeting between Obi and Pastor Ruga in Chicago today. Some of you, the obedient, you have, I mean, especially some of you are practically rooting for Donald Trump as America president. It be like say your Obi is associated with DNC, the Democrats. And I think I am going to be the one to break the news. So, he's in Chicago. This morning, he met Pastor Ruga, and I feel like they are just attendees, delegates to the national conference. What's that thing called in the convention?
And you see people like no. You send it to me. Okay, I'll send it to you. Use a gas phone. Use my phone because this is your and you see.
So that may you know can be like say later, And I go call I just make I tell you. So they are all Team Kamala Harris. And on that note, I'm going to draw the curtain this evening. Yeah, we'll take calls. Okay. If you are a Ronuku watching me, I would love you to call into the program and tell us what changed. Today is August 20. I bet the shift is so lonely. The 21st of August. Anyway, thank you so much, everyone, for your time. I saw Princess and the director Scott and a few others. It seems that you are taking a bet if I was going to remove my cap or not. No, I've figured out how to put the cap on now. So it's not as uncomfortable as it used to be. So anybody who won, just remember to pay 10% tithes to the temple. Thank you. So I'll be back in a minute, and listen, if you've been with us all night and you have to go, I understand. Just like the broadcast before you do that, okay? And to everyone else, you can grab your phone and join us in a minute or two. I'll be back.
Hello.
Hello there.
How are you, sir?
I am very well. How are you, sir?
I'm fine. This is Ralph from Texas, US.
Great. How are you doing today, Ralph?
I'm good. Are you?
Very well. Thank you. Class, man. Go
Okay,
on.
thank you for your good job. I appreciate so much. In fact, you make it difficult for whenever I tune to you to move out from my station.
Really?
Because, I don't know how you get all those information. They're accurate and you do it stressless. You don't stress yourself. You just bring it like they come like a computer, So I appreciate you so much. And
thank you.
Like the last time I called, I still wonder if you are sure you're a Nigerian because I'm yet to see a Nigerian who is like you,
Right.
So, my own is not a contribution. Rather, my own is a question to you.
Okay.
Because the reason why I'm asking this question is that somebody like me, I'm depressed because of the kind of news I hear in Nigeria. Today, there's this news. I don't know if you have seen the news that the money, they have about 120 billion naira recovered from Emefiele people that ministers have stolen. Thiefnubu minister have stolen 54. It's the Shara reporter. You can go and look at it. They have stolen and
I
shared.
saw it too. And I'm trying to, what happened is that, I'm trying to kind of pick traces. I was going to talk about that this evening, but I was just going to mention it because I've not really got, me, I would like names, companies. And I know that the more they deny it, there is likelihood that more will be released to us soon. And I'll bring that here as a package. I heard it. 54 billion shared by them.
Yes. And the worst of it is that, hello? The worst of it is
I'm
that,
with you, Ralph. Go on.
Okay, the worst of it is that even EFCC shared from it.
Yes.
That they even contacted the EFCC spokesperson. He couldn't deny it. He couldn't accept it. He kept mute. That means to show you that there's something wrong there. So when I hear this kind of stories, not that we know. I went to Nigeria a few months before the election.
Right.
I told people that if Thiefnubu wins, people will beg Buhari to come back. That we shouldn't make that mistake. In fact, any taxi I enter, I do to preach to them, say, please, this is just to rescue our country. That at least for us to know what happened under Buhari, another party should come in. Let's forget about Tobia, Atiko, or whatever. But let's see what happened under Buhari, because we know that a lot went down under Buhari. So, but I know that it's going to get to this, but I don't know it's going to be so quick. I thought he will pretend for the first term, then at the second term, he will now bring all those to be. I don't know that he will come so fast like that. That's where I got it wrong. So, and again, I'm from the East. I'm from Enugu State. Though before now, I don't support. I wanted a Nigeria that works for everybody. But from all indication, some of us we are wrong. You people are right. Nigeria is not going to work for everybody.
Not this way.
And it can never work.
No.
So, but the question I have for you is this: what do you think is the way out? Because people like us that supported Obi, we feel that at least Obi, even though Obi believe in one Nigeria, but he will listen. If it's okay, let's all restructure the country. He will agree. Like Obi said in his word that he's going to change the sharing formula to production formula, which makes more sense. Maybe if you can produce, if you have a health system that you want to invest 10 billion, if you can produce 5 billion, federal government will give you 5 billion. That will make more sense. That I think that's where Obi was going. And the production will be based on, instead of monthly salary, it will be hourly salary, something like that. That the more you work, and yes, and there's no way that a legislature will receive more than a senator will receive more than a professor in the university. So when he was talking like that, we know where he's going. It's more of production, which is like the constitution we had in 1963. And I know that from what you say, if people come up with, okay, let's have a regional government, Nigeria will still be one, but let us be more competitive in regional government. He will listen. But obviously, from what we see, somebody like him cannot get there. You get my point. And these people, they don't give a damn. They don't even know what they're talking about. You can see what the deputy speaker was talking yesterday. If we go back and listen to his speech, he's not talking about voting. No. He's not talking about, in fact, he acknowledged that this guy, the governor, was working, he's doing good. But he don't care about what we are talking about. He just
party to be there.
He just know that APC is there. Whether APC take them back to PDP era, he don't care. No. Provided is number 6, which number 6 did not stop what you show in Imo State now. He did not stop what you show in Enugu State now, but he's number 6. So, which is unfortunate, which is a part of the unfortunate situation we find ourselves. So, my question to you.
Let me answer your question, Ralph. Okay. Your question is that after all of this, that all the things we now see or know, what is the way out?
Yes.
You see, there are many. There are many factors. That is why my answer is just going to be. It's not going to be. Sorry, my answer is not going to be one size fits all. But this is my honest and sincere, practicable solution, which I have always talked to. Right? Okay. And what is that? There is nothing that's going to happen in that Nigeria until that particular question is popped nationally. How many of us still want to be part of Nigeria? That's the first question. Then under what condition or arrangements? Right? See, Bible says, can two walk together without agreeing? So what we have right now are the ideas of people of what they think will work for us. And all these propositions people have not been asked in a proper way. You see, what people should be doing is to start working together a structural sort of stuff, that people can easily, key into and promote their own marginalization as they feel like. Now, what I mean by that structural engagement is that, number one, everybody that is part of that Nigeria needed to answer that question. Do you want to be part of Nigeria? So when they now say, yes, we want to be, okay, under what arrangement? That's the one that will come to, whether regional system, a confederation, or any other idea. That should come from the people that want to coexist in a place. That's the second one. Here you get. Then the third one is the fact that people must actually be tired of this Nigeria first. People are not tired yet.
Okay.
Do you get that now? So I strongly believe that if we get to that stage where we all agree that, you know what, we need to discuss this contraption, not the way it's been done before. Now, everybody have, you know what, you are free. Let the Igbos delegates come in and tell us exactly what the Igbo people told them to go and say. You get what I mean? Not what they think Igbo people want. Let the Yoruba delegates come and say, this is what the Yoruba, our people who send us said we should say. Now, everybody can now begin to discuss all of that thing, sort them out. You know, life is give and take. Nobody wants to have everything at once that way, right? It is in the absence of no give and take. Only take. So we are also kind of like, we don't want to be part of it anymore. But if they can have a chart to that point, and this is the only simplest and the peaceful way The other way is for us to start killing ourselves. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And then they will now finally have to ask outsiders to come and settle. You guess what? When they want to settle, they will now ask all of us, why are we fighting and killing ourselves? Whether we want to be together or not. What can be done? So that would be mine. But other people may have other way out too. Because they believe, sometimes when you give this solution, right? People believe that, are you asking these people to do it? Does that not alone tell you that your idea cannot work? I said, well, I'm not asking them to do it. I'm asking people that I'm taking mine from the last. You get that now? I said, the first one, we need to ask people if they want to be part of this. The second one, we need to, they need to tell us under what arrangements. And the third one, it must be obvious that people really, really are tired of Nigeria. So I'm not starting from number one as the solution. I'm starting from number 3. When people are tired, they will be interested in discussing this place.
Just like what happened in the north. I think we are getting there.
Yeah, slowly but surely but steady.
Yeah. Right. We are getting there. Because what is going to happen in 2027, they will write the result and announce
how they will govern the country.
Then the northern Nigeria will now explode. Because I know they are going to bring a candidate. And all of them will line up behind that candidate. Then Thiefnubu will not care. He will not even conduct any election.
No.
He will just bring results. I think that's where that war will start from. Because the Northerners are not going to take it.
And now we'll see how it's going to go. And then, if it managed to last that long so far.
If we start this suppression to that next 3 years, okay, that's a good point. Oh man, you are a encyclopedia yourself.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate you for your good work.
And you
Thank you so much.
Baba, you have a good one, okay? Yeah. So that's why when I share my view, right, I always say it's mine. There are so many smart people on this platform, all right? And the point why we are here is that I just want to give you a clue, okay? When we are talking about Nigeria, so I want to give you a clue to help possibly, shape your own opinion that you already have anyway. It's just like giving you extra clue to further understand that contraption. Here is another caller. Hello.
Hello, Michael. Good evening.
Hello,
I like your attire tonight.
Sorry?
I like your attire tonight. This is Kalu from London.
Yeah, Kalu. Baba, how are you this evening?
I'm fine, thank you.
Bless you.
I've been wanting to stop calling you program, but I just can't help it.
I mean, when people say I am addicted to my Gunstiari political, I'm like, we are all addicted. Don't let us pretend. If I'm not here myself, like I'm almost like something is missing. You get what I mean? So yeah, there's always going to be a time you probably reverse your own decision. So this is one of those times, right? Kalu.
Yeah, I'm just calling to I was one of the people that called regarding the just concluded protest
and bad governance protest.
And I did tell you that if that protest was successful, it has to have element of surprise. It has to have the middle belt, catch the police unaware. However, do people actually realize that during that protest there was no kidnapping? There was no stealing.
No attack, no nothing.
Nothing. What I've come to realize is the army and people in uniform that are doing those kidnappings. Because every time they've been deployed to the streets, kidnapping stop. Every time you bring them out and say, okay, they have something serious to be done, kidnapping stop. The so-called people that are saying they're kidnapping are not really kidnapping, because there's nobody that you can tell me that does kidnapping that is not properly trained on how to do reconnaissance, how to do all this intelligence check.
For them, when they are doing all those attacks, the military, the police, there will be nowhere to be found until hours later when the people have been taken into the forest.
Go and check since the history of kidnapping. Anytime there is a major issue and the government say police, army come outside, kidnapping stops overnight.
So either it stops or just reduced drastically. You're right. That's one mad observation there, Papa.
Yeah. So, and on the issue of people asking if Nigeria is going to be one or is not going to be one, to be honest with you, I think you need to move when it comes. I think you need to dedicate one day for the condition for breakup of Nigeria. So, what I mean by condition for breakup of Nigeria, what people are basically worried from, people I've asked, or my friends that are from other tribe and other places, people are scared of what happened to the Igbos after the Biafran War, where they lost their properties. There needs to be like a program where people get educated and tell that, listen, in the current world, when we divide, debt is divided per head. Since the Northerners say they have more population, the total debt of Nigeria, as at the day you're dividing, will go per head to their people.
They will just have to take they will have to take 70% of the debt to start with.
Oh, it doesn't matter. If you say you have, since you claim that you have more population than the South, you take more population, you take more per capita of the debt. So then you begin to program it. Let's say, for example, Nigerian debt is 100 billion, and not say they have 70 million people. So each of them will take 1 billion. Then you come down to the South and start dividing by states. Then there will be an agreement on property rights. Probably get a lawyer involved or somebody that will come and have us explain to them what the law says in terms of value those properties, so that if after the war you come back, you get your property. If your property gets hit by maybe a stray bullet or whatever, or bomb, you have insurance cover. Then you have like a template for separation. Because I think most people calling about this separation are not actually having some people just know about separation but don't understand that there's processes to separation. There is. You have to get a liquidator, a litigator involved. A liquidator will do an actuary will come in and do calculation of every debt you have, how the project they were assigned to. If they're in your region, you pay for it. They're not in your region, you have to keep for it. Like the money Buhari borrowed to build road to his village and Daura, the North will be in charge of that whole debt. Before you now say, okay, there's some debt that you cannot actually allocate to any particular project, that is now get shared among the whole Nigeria as a population. So when you do it that way now, what then happens now is people begin to realize the people in the North, even though they may not want to separate anymore, but you open their eye to what their politicians are doing on their behalf. Because to be fair, these people take so much debt, they claim to be doing one project or the other in the North. Those projects never get delivered, never see the light of day,
Remain in the dark as well.
and will remain dark. And the North has always believed that they will get away with murder. Like what you're showing now, that this Fulani incursion coming down south, it's coming down south because in the 80s, 70s, it was only one medium of communication, NTA and Radio Nigeria. The elites have not discovered their social media that can change narrative. They've not realized that social media has an impact. Just think that, there's a bunch of idiot people online just talking.
Some 3 people in the room.
And that is why when they did that protest, the protest hit more in the North, because the Northerners are now being told, wait, these Southern people have been complaining for years. These things are happening to you. They are complaining on your behalf.
You should be doing the same with them if you know what you're doing.
And that is why you notice since the last protest, the majority of podcasters and vloggers are trying to do bilingual presentation where they convert their presentation to other languages. They're also supporting the northern people to present in their own language because they don't go to school. So that is what is the last one I just said, that the time this next election is going to come up, they're going to play the dodgy thing they played in Lagos, and then the whole thing is going to backfire. And by the time it backfires, it's going to be too bad for everybody.
We shall see too. Thank you so much, Kalu. And thanks for stopping by as well. Okay. You have a good one, Baba. So, indeed, the criminal politicians in Nigeria are so lucky, no doubt. But the ground is sinking faster than some of you can imagine. And that's why sometimes you can feel like, what do they want to do with all this money? Like, it's like money is going out of fashion. And they will steal anything and everything. Anything, turn to money, anything. Any shiny things they can use money to buy. It is going out of fashion. Because the days are counting. The clocks are ticking. So is the ground sinking. Here is a caller. Hello.
Papa.
Yes, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, How are you, Baba?
I'm good, and yourself?
Well, very well again. Thank you so much for asking. Go on.
And your family?
Thank God, oh. Can't complain.
Okay, oh. Let me first appreciate you for your outfit.
Thank you, sir. Say that again.
Let me appreciate your outfit.
Obankie. I didn't have my horse tail. I would have been like that. Obankie.
Kabiyesi Baba.
Obankie.
Kabiyesi, my king. I'm loyal to the government.
I agree to you. You are blessed.
Okay. My name is John Isese, calling from Boston.
That's
John.
John Isese. Yes. It's good to have you back, Please.
Thank you, sir. How are you doing, sir?
Not bad, though. At least you can see my face. I'm
here. You look that outfit. I put on that all the time. That outfit is what you represent.
Thank you very much. I mean, it comes like a full regalia. Sometimes it comes with a message too. Let me bless you as usual. Baba Mayogu. It shall be well with you. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord strengthen you. May the Lord give you the wisdom and the understanding to keep this alignment forward. In the name of Chukwukabiyama, we pray. I will go straight to the message. Please.
You have been so wonderful in this message. You have been enlightening us so much. Since they kidnapped our leader, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, Ohamadike one of Biafra, you took up this task and keep doing your good job.
Right.
I don't know what to say. It just let the blessings of God be upon your life and your family.
Thank you.
You see, our Nigerian youth, this is their message. You have preached enough. Nnamdi Kanu Hamadike one of Biafra keeps saying this. Why do we like our oppressors? Why did Nigerian youth like our oppressors? People who have subjugated us, people who have made us not to have any value, people who have given us poverty, imprivileged us, put us in every type of
treatment.
Why do we still love them? Do you see the huge amount of money you are calling that this government has spent in 1 year? They are not up to 2 years. They are only in 1 year in office. See how much money they have squandered. Still, there is no change. When are we going to? They say they believe in one Nigeria, but I want them to know that believing in one Nigeria first, you have to get rid of those criminals, change that 99 constitution that is ruling you.
Yes, the Genesis.
Then you can be able to call one Nigeria. For now, it can never work.
Not this way.
Until they stand up and do this needful. They give them rights. They end up the protest they want to use to, bring out their voice. They give them rights. They turn it down. It is not easy. I still appreciating them for what they have done. But they need to do more. Their effort, they need to do more. They need to show that they are angry. They need to show that they are annoyed. They need to show that they have been cheated. They need to show that they have been used in many years.
And they've had enough.
And they have enough. Imagine that week that is providing fuel cannot be able to make proud of fuel. Where I'm living, I haven't got any gas station and I'll be in a queue. Unless on BJ, because it's, you know how BJ works. It's a very, how they say their own fuel here is very cheap and is a very nice fuel. So people try to, and the key is not like 4 minutes. You get your fuel and go where you're going.
Now.
Right?
That's right.
So until until they know this and they work on this, it's going to bring a change. Sitting there can never bring any. These people doesn't have any plan for
You know
us.
what I said? You remember, John Eze? You remember when I said that these guys will never stop until they are stopped? Like,
No.
forget it. If people are not bold enough or courageous enough to stop them, they can remain like this for another 60 years.
Forever. They can never stop. Nothing will stop them.
So they have to be
you
stopped.
that will stop them.
Mm-hmm.
It's you that will stop them, that will put them on stop. But when you see them keeping quiet, they will continue what they have been doing for a long time.
Wow. Thank you so much.
It's his turn. It's his turn. Do you think that this man that come out and say, it is my turn, Emiloko, it is my turn. He has a plan for that, saying that.
It was, you remember, I remember that time though, that we did say, let's be honest though, there are several times that Thiefnubu actually threatened Nigerians, but Nigerians didn't see it. The first one, they said they will continue from wherever Bokohari stopped. That was a threat, right?
That was a threat.
Then he said, Emiloko, that too was a threat.
Okay.
Right? Then he's been threatening them all the time, man.
Nobody will challenge me. It is my turn.
We shall see. See, John Eze, Mazi,
Papa,
thank you so much again, okay? For always.
They should leave Mazi Namundu Pukalo Humadike of Biafra go. Something is cooking.
I believe.
Have a nice day, and the Lord bless you.
You too, man. Okay, you have a good one, sir. So I do have another caller. I just checked now, and I think that we do have, we're like 2,000 of us again, okay? So we need to, if you haven't really paid your own offering, please do, okay? And also, I noticed there's someone, this is not the first time, okay? This is second time. Sorry, Francis, if you're watching, right? I saw your comment on Facebook. And your comment is mostly about like you are like upset every time people call in and mention Biafra or they mention Nnamdi Kanu and the rest of that, you know. And then was it yesterday or today? You said I should cut off, I should block these guys who are mentioning Nnamdi Kanu and Biafra. And guess what I did? I blocked you, and I blocked people like you. Now here is something. Nigeria is a failed place whereby more like Nnamdi Kanu will be produced by the failing system of Nigeria that you have. It is not sustainable. So if you don't want people like Nnamdi Kanu or people to talk about Biafra and the rest, you know what I mean, then you should spend and use that your energy to possibly stop injustice as it is currently institutionalized in Nigeria. I've said this many times. Even if you don't like Nnamdi Kanu, if you blame him for all the things that he didn't do, just because you have been programmed to blame him, okay, he's in their courts. How come they can't present all those evidence and convict him? They kidnapped him. It's been almost 3 years. So you are just getting angry for nothing. You're getting mad for nothing. You actually have to be mad at the system that will continue to produce Nnamdi Kanu. As long as there is injustice, yeah, people are scared to kind of stand up and fight in most part of Nigeria, right? But let it continue. There will be more Nnamdi Kanu that will be produced. I'm talking about the ones that will be even like more brutal than Nnamdi Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu is educated, is enlightened, he is still moderate. You will see more radical Nnamdi Kanu in a contraption that these guys are managing. So when injustice is everywhere that way, even if you don't like them, right? Wouldn't you like to see them jail? I mean, if Nnamdi Kanu has done anything wrong, instead of social media anger that all of you are displaying, how about they use that in their court and jail him, at least convict him with your evidence? They are not. You are just angry for no reason. Because the system wanted you to remain angry. So instead of me blocking anybody that says Biafra or mention Nnamdi Kanu, I will block you, at least for the moment, so that you can stop being a problem. So yeah, I have another caller. Hello. Oh, did I lose you? I'm so sorry. There's one thing people should always remember, okay, please. Whenever It's only when I say hello to you, that means that is you. Stay there, don't hang up. You may never have a chance of calling back in again. Yeah, it's another caller. Hello.
Hello, Mr. Mayego himself.
Hello, sir. How are you, Baba?
Oh, well done. Yeah, this is Aguabino from London.
Say that again.
Aguabino.
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 Aguabino. Okay, I think I got that now.
Yeah.
God bless you, Baba. How are you this evening?
Very good, very good. I've been trying to call you since last month. There was a guy that called that time that was antagonizing one woman. That is not. That's why I was really want to talk. That the boy is finished. It's a call for anyway. But I like the way you deal with it anyway. Yeah, there is something I wanted to say.
Yes, sir.
Like the election that's warming up in Edo State now, from Edo State.
Okay.
And there's this guy. He's from my side anyway. My side of the Edo State. They call it Tedebe. Yeah. His daughter living abroad. I don't know which part of the Western world she live. It's between 2019, 18. He's a young girl anyway. He's campaigning for APC. Soliciting vote for APC, and that APC will do road, they will build hospital, they will do that. And the video is going viral. They are sharing it as she's campaigning that. She living abroad, and they see what is happening abroad. And she's now saying is the APC going to do those things in Edo State. And I don't know the video, whether the
Somebody
video came
from Edo State or they wish APC upon Edo State. Have you seen their candidates?
That's what I'm saying.
Like now. Anybody will be say you be from Edo. I'm not saying that any of these other people are far better. I mean, are better. But come on, man. You've seen APC, Abi? So anybody who wish APC on their people, like for real. I'm talking about those who live abroad, though. We can forgive those ones who live in Nigeria. But Abba, now so na hate to ourselves rich.
He said his father is the chairman of APC in Edo State.
No wonder.
And he used stolen money to send her abroad. So that is why his campaigning, probably his father is the one sharing the video. I don't know. A lot of people from our side are sharing those videos that everywhere on the internet is the small guys speaking for Edo State to vote for. It's a disgrace and a shame to our people. I don't understand.
People are selfish. A lot of people feel like they've left Nigeria. Now, I think gradually a lot of people will begin to understand that as you are wishing all these evil criminals on your people in Nigeria, we are not safe too. It's bouncing back on us in the diaspora.
Yeah.
It's getting to us. And there are so many of us that some of these things is also going to change and alter our way of life. So may they continue.
Yeah. If you see the amount of begging now, if you start giving money to all these people begging you, you may not be able to even put fuel in your car.
That's right.
Doctors are paying for your rent. It's too much.
And somebody will live abroad, though. God damn it, man.
Because your father used stolen money to sell you abroad. So if you want
what's be your name again? I beg, no name and Shema. Tell me, what's be your papa name? What's be your name?
Yeah, it's Tenebe. He's the chairman of Jared Tenebe. Jared Tenebe. He's the chairman of APC in Edo State. Our daughter is one campaigning for. If you Google it, you see them. It's Jared Tenebe from our side of Edo State.
I'm going to search for that. It's a shame. It's a shame. And there are so many people like us. And it is, see, if you are watching this broadcast and you are living abroad and somehow you are a close-set supporter of the madness going on in the contraption, you get sense in you because we are not spared, though. Nobody is spared. Whether you are living in America or you are living in Antigua, whether you are living in China or you are living in what do you call it, Kenya, it doesn't matter. We are all, I mean, especially when we have families there, though, right?
Yeah,
it is well. See, thank you so much, Baba. Might take another one, okay?
Yeah.
You have a good one, sir.
Yeah.
Sir. So let's see if I go. Oh, did I just miss that again? Well, maybe I got it this time. Here. Hello.
Hello, sir. My going on.
Adeola.
Ekale, sir.
How are you tonight, Baba?
Baba, we do okay. We do okay. I just say I say hello to just contribute sharply to the program. As per usual, no. As usual. No. I think we are debating on how Nigeria will end. It will end, though. It will end. I had my own theories, maybe towards maybe a gradual end or a mix of a gradual / an abrupt end. This is my point. I don't think we need to descend into violence to end anything because our leaders they've ensured they have ensured the Nigerian demise. They've ensured it. So there isn't anything to how I put it. You can't there's nothing to go to war for because if you die in their war, you just die like that for nothing. So I don't think we need to descend into violence because they've already ensured, the end of Nigeria already. Excuse me. Yeah, so because you cannot be running a system like this, there will come a time whereby it will come to an abrupt end. We are almost there. We are just a little bit away from it because I think it will be if we had that privilege or we are privy to their meetings, so we would actually know that Baba don't cast. Even them, they know they say don't cast.
Like for how long they can hold it together.
Yeah, it's about okay. I know that it's like juggling hot potato. They are juggling it amongst themselves. They don't want to drop it. But at some point, that hot potato will burn somebody and they will drop it. Because you cannot be paying senators close to 30 million naira per month. You cannot be, be taken from the covers of of the treasury regularly, and you think that we will be able to continue. I think we will be at some point we will not be able to service our debt. At some point we will be unable to service our debt. Then no coming back. Then that that gradualism theory, whereby Nigeria was already on gradualism, a gradual decline and a gradual end. We were already going towards that motion ever since 1966. Very gradual, halts of the locomotive engine, archaic technology, locomotive engine run by coal-fired locomotive engine. Everybody will come, still, cover up, still, cover up. They'll still cover up, they will still do a bit of small work.
Cosmetic projects.
That's it. That is the model that they've been running with. But now that model does not work again. Nigeria is indebted, like you said before. Generations unborn, will have to,
we'll be subjected to the repayment, the slavery of repaying the debt that these guys incurred because they wanted to fly the new jets, sail the new ship and all that. Go on.
Yeah, Baba, see, the gradual end will come. I'm not sure if it will be abrupt at some point, though. I think we will just get to an abrupt end whereby the country will become ungovernable. I was looking at a clip at, a breaking point was I look at Benue, a clip from Arise News and how the farmers were unable to, go back to farms. There's this massive, large market, this yam market, a trading, more or less like an exchange, a pure commodity exchange in Benue State, a massive facility whereby people would, hustle and bustle and they were trading yams. But because of Boko Haram and, all these our headsmen, it is deserted. Even that market is deserted. There's no more trading. Their yams
economy like that got killed. Smaller economy, smaller communities in bigger communities and all that. In the last 9 years, Baba, they died.
Exactly.
Dried up.
So you have yams in the ground rotting. No one to harvest. You have farmers that have been killed, on their land, and their bodies have not been buried, just been lying down there. So the question is, how do you reverse that? Where is the road to prosperity? Michael, are you telling me that overnight they will resolve insecurity and people will go back to farms and harvest period will come quickly and the trading and commodity exchange
people shall want them
yam
to start. Like, you know, one
No,
thing
it's not possible.
Like, start somewhere so that people can begin to say, well, in the next 5 years, if they continue, right? This guy,
No.
This one's
see,
don't give a
Michael,
damn.
Michael, see, there isn't any clear approach to curbing security. You know, if there was a clear approach whereby you were actually doing something and there was gradual relief, then okay, yes, that there'll be shared optimism. But there's nothing like that. So anytime you see Thiefnubu talk, it's just like I like the way you put it, what salad? It's just rustling salad up, it's just rustling, lettuce with spinach, with beetroot, with carrot. It's just rustling it up. There's nothing, there's nothing there. There isn't any clear path or clear actionable way out of this mess. It's just talking. It's just all talk.
People should begin to look at what they do, not what they say.
And
we
now,
prefer to look at what they are doing, not what they say they will do. You get that?
Yes, sir.
And I don't know why that is difficult for people to understand that. These guys, you can't deal with them by what they say. You hear that they said that the 15 trillion naira they awarded to Shaguri. That's even the front. The whole place, the whole thing is owned by Sheyi and the Shaguri son. Like, what the heck?
Yes, because see, there is we all understand the concept of seed time and harvest time. Whenever you sow, whatever you sow, if you sow in an unprofitable venture, it's not going to be profitable. So if you are taking your good seeds and you are sowing into the House of Senate, renowned unprofitable ground, they are not passing any laws, they are just chopping and chopping. So when there's harvest, when the harvest comes, there will be nothing to harvest, my God. So the first year of their planting, we will come back and harvest it, and it will be nothing that will be there. There will be nothing. God bless you, sir. Enjoy.
Bless you too. Thank you so much, brother. I have another caller, and I think that's Adeza. Hello.
Enjoy.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Hi, how are you doing today?
I am very well. Oh, that's Adeza from Edinburgh.
Yeah,
and yourself?
Yeah, I'm good.
Everybody can hear
They're looking takeaway.
Please.
All right. Yeah, the collapse of Nigeria is inevitable by their actions.
Thank you.
Like what happened today regarding the NLC president, they are going to do things of that nature that will trigger total revolution because they are trying to clamp down on everybody. I also saw the protesters that were brought before court and they couldn't actually entertain the case and the case was postponed. These are actions that may likely trigger what they're trying to protect because this slavery cannot be forever. I remember during his time, he protested a lot and nobody shut him down. Nobody arrested him. But people are now doing during his own time that the situation is even worse and he's trying to kill everybody. The unfortunate aspect of it is that
NLC from ever talking about protest. And the way to do that is to accuse their president of terrorism, treason.
Yeah.
Like, are you for real? Hey.
And I also blame NLC for what is happening. Do you understand? You see, since this administration, even the Bokohari regime, they've been so very quiet. The first time they decided to do something, and they didn't even allow it to last for 1 or 2 days. They stopped it. And that's one of the most effective and efficient strike in the last 1 decade. They stopped it. And they went to the table and negotiate nonsense that did not hold water. People are receiving 20-something million naira every month. The same people, they are telling you they cannot pay 250 for other Nigerians. So what makes them different? What makes them so special? So the man was complaining. The senator, the senator. When you make your people forward, yeah, you make the people forward, and that's why they are depending on you. Otherwise, they have no reason to depend on you.
No.
You have made them poor by your policies and program. Now they are now depending on you, and you are now complaining. What is happening now? A time will come, and the time is at hand that they will run out of their own houses. Both the religious leaders who are collecting money and other things from these leaders. A time will come, even their subjects will descend on them. Even the traditional rulers who are trying to tell the people who they're supposed to be protecting their interests, supporting this evil men, a time will come, their subject will descend on them. Right. They will not be able to drive their car alongside the road. When they drive the car, they will stone them to death. And the time is coming, and the time is very close.
Thank you so much, Adeza. It's always good to remind them every now and then, okay? Because when that day finally comes, right, we will stream it live to everybody and say, we want them. You have a good evening, okay? Adeza, thank you so much. So that's Adeza, ladies and gentlemen. I have another caller too. But guess what? We only have just about 15 minutes to go. I know I would love us to use our time, even though we started late, okay? But please, like the broadcast. It's actually 3 days to the Yoruba Union Summit in Glasgow. Thank you, Olowo. We have people who are going to miss tomorrow's program. People like the African Wahala. People like, that is flying in from Canada. People like Yomi Totu, Olowo, and then a few others like that who are also going to miss tomorrow's program because they'll probably be on their way to the UK from the United States. So to the rest of us in the UK, I have a caller though. Yeah. Hello.
Hello, my good general.
See, it's not
the African
That's
Wahala.
The Prince Adewale, the African Wahala. How are you, Baba?
Yes, sir. I'm good.
Great.
I'm doing very well.
Solid, man.
Yes, sir. I don't even need to ask how you're doing because you look excellent.
Thank you. I'm practicing for Saturday.
Nice.
So that I'm actually even learning. Maybe I can learn how to walk majestically and all of that. Not walking like a radical, you know. But yeah, thank you so much, the African Wahala.
Yeah. Thank you for your great work for the program, for not giving up on us.
Thanks, man.
Me, I realize that sometimes my own mental health is not that strong. Like today, I lost it in the comment section with someone that was talking about, oh, why are you guys always complaining every day? It doesn't change anything. So I started putting in disparaging comments, But yeah, I'm just going to apologize to that person. Please, if you don't want to, you don't want to see people complain about the evil that we are going through, go watch Big Brother Nigeria. Or go watch something.
Use your time for something else.
Yeah, watch Big Brother, watch all those comedy skits. That's what 90% of people do anyways. But I'm calling to talk about that nurse lady that showed evidence in the US, how her license or whatever was not renewed because of a Nigerian government policy.
That's right.
So let me explain what's going on.
Please.
To people, Nigeria is such an evil contraption. It's such a wicked place. The only job of Nigeria is to keep you poor or dead, period. The government officials, all of them, at least 99% of the government officials and their family members, they don't even use the hospitals in Nigeria because the hospitals have been destroyed by them. They destroyed the hospitals. Not me or you, the regular citizens, the so-called masses, they did not destroy the hospitals. Now, although I do not like all these useless religious leaders and their traditional leaders, I hate them all. They also did not destroy the hospitals. I'm going to give those guys the benefit of doubt for now. They did not contribute to destroying the hospitals.
They did not budget or spend money on those hospitals. Some people do.
Exactly. The politicians, strictly the politicians, destroyed the hospitals in Nigeria. They made, as a matter of fact, Thiefnubu right now, the current president of Nigeria, they call him the president. He's in France to see his doctor again. The former president Bokohari, there was a time for about 3 months straight. This guy was in London looking at his doctors. So this is the type of evil country that we have. And that's why a lot of the medical practitioners are running away to other countries where they can utilize their skills to make money and take care of themselves. If the Nigerian medical system will never improve, which it has proven that it will never improve, and the people that have the skill sets decided to go to other regions where they can practice and make some money for themselves and their family, what's wrong with that? Then the Nigerian government comes in and says, oh, all you guys should come back. You must remain in this contraption. Okay, come and suffer and die in poverty.
Overused. And then,
yes,
in that same space, what kind of wickedness, systemic wickedness is this? If you want to stop the doctors and nurses from leaving Nigeria, then increase their welfare, increase their pay. Come on, that's simple.
That's not going to happen.
No, it's not.
No, it's not going to happen. No, it's not going to happen. They will never increase any. They would never improve their welfare. They would never increase anything. And they will continue traveling to London and America to go see their personal doctors. So these are some of the reasons why this useless, evil contraption, this zoo, according to my Igbo brothers, this zoo has to go at some point. And according to, was that Adiola that spoke, the second previous caller, that said, it's inevitable. It's true. I believe that too. But, you know, the process towards the eventual demise of Nigeria is very, very painful to watch. It's very, very stressful to experience. But we are in it now, right now. Yeah. But thank you, Mayegun General, for the opportunity. Thank you so much.
The African Wahala. Thanks so much again, as usual. Here is another call.
You call a mom and insult me again.
That is you connected. Madam, take it easy on him, okay? Now you need to take it out of here now. I'm going to write it and take it. Okay. I think we need to give some people some time. So let's take another one. Here. Hello.
Hello.
Hello there. Can you hear me?
Hello. Sir Mayegu.
Yes, sir.
Hello, Mayegu. This is Ihama.
Oh.
One of your longest followers.
Thank you so much for joining us then. Everyone,
this is my first time of getting you. I've been trying several times.
I'm so happy you finally.
And I'm just calling for today to appreciate you.
Thank you.
And thank you immensely for all the wonderful work you've been doing. I'm so addicted. My family know that. So I don't know what to say. I'm excited to have spoken to you today. But please keep going. Keep your good work going. We are the abused and used child of war of Biafra. And I'll never forgive them. But I know that one day we'll have a redemption.
I believe
so. Please hang on in there. I appreciate you and I respect you. And I thank every contributor on this platform. So we're not giving up. We are the silent followers.
God bless
and
you.
May God bless you and your family.
Amen.
I know I'm going to sleep so well tonight.
Well,
thank you, Mayegu.
Well, I'm going to sleep well too. When I remember, you see, there's something I feel, right? The feeling is usually mutual, ma'am. Okay. When people get through for the first time, that simply means it's the same. I'm speaking to you for the first time too. So if you are so excited that we are kind of, speaking, right? It's the same. So thank you so much, right, for finding time enough, right, to call in as well, okay? Bless you.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. So
thank you.
Yeah. God bless you so much, my lady. Again, the number to call is right here on your screen. Tonight may be your own time too to get through. And indeed, right, I am as excited as a lot of you who are yet to kind of call in. Because once you manage to get through, the feeling is mutual. Baba, Hello there.
Wrong choice of words. Stop. Don't you?
Hello?
Okay.
Hello. 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 Sorry. Hello. Hello. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Can you hear me, Gina?
Yes, I can.
Hello. Yeah. Good
But
evening.
you may need to go to another
Probably,
room
yeah.
or mute the.
Yeah, I'm hearing you. I can hear you now.
Great. That's better.
I'm hearing you right now.
No, I can hear you too. I just thought that we shouldn't have much distraction. Like, you know, it seems to be quiet now. So.
Hello. Yes.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, yes. Yeah, right. Good evening, General. I'm calling from Nigeria. Probably Port Harcourt again.
You may need to mute that movie you are watching.
Yeah, I just did that. You know, it's my mom and she's into this movie something. So my concentration is.
Because I can't tell you to.
Yeah. That's why I left.
So,
because I don't want to.
How are you doing this evening?
I'm in Nigeria. I can't say I'm good. I will say my thank God for my life, sure.
Well, you say you are surviving because now I be the MVP, most valuable people. Right? Everyone who is in that place surviving, can survive anything.
Yeah. But this is not what we wish for. This is not what we wish for at all. You know, I call. This is my second time of calling you now. Some time ago, within that protest period, I called and I'm calling. I'm precisely from Bayelsa and the rest. And I talked to you about this, our so-called leaders who are looking up to, and then Niger Delta being downgraded, a place that's giving the nation oil located area, and then this is the place that I see that this is where they're having almost 90% of the national what they call it income or whatever. I don't know what. And then these scavengers and the rest. I just like your shoes. Like, I just love it. There's one video that you post. And yeah, there was one video that you made flash to today. And now that thing shocked me when that man was talking on the podium, and I spotted Gulo Jonathan there. I spotted him. I actually spotted him. I went to school, Tweke precisely. And my brother, if you went to that place, you will not believe that this is a one-time president area. What this will do is that they just leave us in the dark and then pretend to be saints. And after everything, they will now show their true color. And I was still imagining, like, they will just, as in this betrayal, will just sink into our heart, like, these are these people are. Some of our so-called freedom fighters who claim to be Nigerian freedom fighters and the rest and blah blah blah, when we are looking up to them like that, at the end of it all, federal government was looking for them. Yes, we were looking for them like that. My brother, at the end of the guy was running and everybody was on that story like that. You know what I'm talking about. And at the end of the day, they gave him a contract.
Yeah.
I wanted the contract of what, 49 billion or so, I'll be 40 billion or so. I wanted the contract for stopping those people that they never even care about. That who God in infinite mercy have provided a way of them surviving. And these guys went into this oil, take it by themselves and refined it since they could not get out, and they survived from this. And these so-called freedom fighters took money from these politicians and asking these people not to eat, not to survive again, without asking them, if you are giving me this to go and stop my people from not eating, that is a result of people not doing anything, that you will call it a name that is a theft and then whatever you call it, because they are good at calling a name when they want to punish Nigerian citizens. They are said they are punished with their generation. They'll just call a name, call it crude theft and the rest. But the reality to be told that these people are not. These people.
It's a free. Daniel, right? So in case our viewers, right, our listeners do understand what Daniel is trying to pick up here is that, you know, a region that produces oil and nothing is given back to the community, nothing.
Nothing.
And people are kind of resorting to helping themselves, like refining their own crude oil in a way to kind of make money, sell that, survive. But yet, the supposed freedom fighters in Niger Delta are the ones who still come and burn the place down and it's a free for all.
And destroy them. Yes, and destroy them. Okay, now the question is, who are you taking this oil to? Who are you taking this our oil to? For those people that are punishing us, that are but they are doing things.
See, I've told you the last time we spoke. Remember, Danny? I said,
yeah.
You see the people that are taking the oil from Niger Delta. They don't see all of you, people of Niger Delta, as important as your oil. If they have their way, they will move all of you from that Niger Delta. All of you, the millions of you, they will locate you elsewhere and turn the entire space to oil field that they can just share. You get when are the people themselves. We show that they are tired, man. That's where we or else from one generation to another. Okay, everybody will have to go and find their way.
It has been
you have to find your way on how to make your way out of the place. Everybody will try to make their way out of the place.
And
nobody
that's just it. And the way out now, they just succeeded in making most of the youths carrying guns, carrying arms, turning them to militants. And once they carry guns and started they call themselves general of militancy, and then they will now listen to them. They see this one's coming too strong. They will now come with some money and give him take your own. Oh shit! But if you are educated, you are not going to have anything. You're not going to have anything.
Thank you very
much. I really want thank you. Yes, thank you. But I just want to I just pray that and that video that he shows to us, like that you flash. I just pray that I spotted Jonathan there. I just pray that what that man was saying about different African countries and telling us that if China, England and British have come and gone, if they are still around, I don't know that they're all those things. I don't believe that this man, these people, these are our leaders. I just pray that Jonathan should just think like he should not think about only himself. Like you think about United Delta like. Bro,
it's too late.
See, I feel like crying. Like Daniel, I don't even know my future. I don't even know my future.
People like you, right? Yourself, people who are younger than you, they are actually the people who are going to still lead the liberation that will free everyone, including from my own
I went out for protests. I went out for protests. I went out with it, and I'll be following your programs most times if I have data. I went out with protests.
God bless you. Okay, stay safe. Take it easy.
Thank you.
Say hello to Mama. Right?
All right. Thank you. Okay, thank you.
Cheers, man. That's Daniel there from Bayelsa. Brilliant guy. And my time or our time is so up now. We can go to bed now. We've had our 3 hours. I'm so sorry that has been calling to get through. You couldn't. I'm so sorry. So I will see us, some other time. However, if you are a member of the Yoruba Union, coming for the Yoruba Union Summit, and I've told you before that we are sending you this sort of like question stuff for you to help us to know what we need to know before you come around. Okay, I'm going to see you tomorrow. Okay, but until then, everybody shall take them easy. Okay, and I hope you get fuel when you go out tomorrow. Good night.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Mayegun number one. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari. ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Máyégún Diary Nayibi #1. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Máyégún máa wí. Máyégún Diary Nayibi #1. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Máyégún Diary Nayibi #1. Máyégún Diary political. Máyégún Diary Nayibi #1. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Máyégún. Máyégún Diary Nayibi #1. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgbọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Máyégún Diary Nayibi #1. Àní Máyégún làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Máyégún Diary Nayibi #1. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Máyégún ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Máyégún ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Máyégún ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Máyégún máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Máyégún máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Máyégún máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Bí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Máyégún máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá. Máyégún máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Máyégún máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú. Máyégún máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀. Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran. Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran. Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́run ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sè mọ́bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀bọ̀ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́, ó ti jọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà. Àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o, ó kó ẹni tó bá dán wò á kàmù. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran.